Hey, how's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to some more Arsenal transfer news, updates, opinions, discussions, and all that good stuff. Sorry for no video yesterday. Was quite a bit under the weather, to say the least, to be honest. Had cough, sniffles, I don't know, temperature, fever, all that stuff. Today, you could see I'm much better. Yesterday I couldn't even talk properly. Today I feel much better. So we are digging back into transfer updates. Today we are talking about players potentially leaving, new striker links, again, of course, some more rumors. So like, comment, subscribe, would be much appreciated. Hit that bell and let's get into it. And we're kicking things off with Reiss Nelson, who finally has decided he wants to leave. To be honest, let's be real, he should have left last season, but Arteta decided to extend his contract to kinda, if you get what I mean, protect his value. Edu needs to get on the job. Because let's be real, he 100% knew, because every Arsenal fan knew, that in summer Ramsdale will be gone, Reiss Nelson will be gone, Partey most likely will be gone, ESR might leave and stuff, and Zinchenko might leave. Maybe not as much Zinchenko, but maybe, who knows. And we are 2 days in transfer window, but that doesn't mean you cannot work. Obviously, you could work throughout until the 14th of January when the transfer window opened. And nothing has happened yet. Every single eye Arsenal fan has should be on Edu, because this is the window, the transfer window where it's all or nothing, make or break. Because if we don't win next season anything and our transfer window is subpar again, they both need to go. No questions asked. But back to Reiss Nelson, let's be real. He should have left last season, but it was on a free. So now we are kind of extended. We have to try to protect his value. And according to reports, Crystal Palace have begun talks with some of their targets to replace Olise, who most likely will move to Chelsea or Manchester United, who knows. And Arsenal's Reiss Nelson is one of the options, obviously. And they believe that Palace are ready to make an opening offer of around 10 million. But Arsenal are holding out for 25 million. To be honest, let's be real. 10 million, if they are starting at that, it's Crystal Palace, and I don't see any chance whatsoever in the world that they're gonna go over 13, 14, maybe 15 if you push it million to sign Reiss Nelson. So if Arsenal stands still at those 25, he will go out on loan or stay at the club and again marinate the bench, warm the bench for the whole season, bring towels to every single player other that starts. So Reiss Nelson finally has realized that he doesn't want to stay here because he's not getting played, and to be honest, rightly so. But he's not an established player, so you cannot kinda ask 25 million. If Reiss Nelson, for example, was, let's just say 20, right, 20 years old, then you can ask 25, 30 million for him. But since he's been at the club for the longest time, he's not 20-year-old anymore. He hasn't proven himself anywhere. His only memory that everyone remembers him by is the goal against Bournemouth 1.5 years ago. Like, how can you base value on that? Genuinely, yes, you have contract and everything, but 25 million is way too much. But if Arsenal do things properly, they can sell him for 13 to 15 million. And I hope they do that, because otherwise he is not leaving Arsenal. He's staying at the club. We'll see how this develops. Obviously it's another rumor. But if Olise leaves Crystal Palace, which looks like a very big possibility, he's one of the options for Crystal Palace. Who knows what's going to happen with him. But yeah, it looks like he might be on the move. Moving on to new striker links, which is actually kind of refreshing to see, because I'm kind of sick and tired of all the Isaks, Gyökeres's, Seskos. Who else is there? Zirkzee and Tony's being talked about all the time. Mind you, who we're going to talk about in a second as well. Arsenal have asked information on Artem Dovbyk among the names on the list to strengthen their attack. Now, Artem Dovbyk a season ago moved to Girona, who totally blew everyone out of the water in La Liga, took the league by storm and finished third. They challenged Real Madrid for the title for the longest time, with a budget that's pretty much Luton's level of budget. Genuinely one of the lower end, maybe high end championship sides budget. They did that with the players they have, and now it looks like they're gonna have a massive fire sale, it feels like, because Alex Garcia has signed apparently already with Bayer Leverkusen. Arsenal are interested in, well, were at least, haven't heard anything for some time, in Tsigankov, of course. Who else was there? Savio apparently is moving to Man City. Young Couto, who knows what's gonna happen with him. But Dovbyk is another player who is of interest because he's top scorer in La Liga, 24 goals in 36 games, in 20 and 8 assists, so he got 32 points out of 36 games in one season, which is quite massive. 26 years old, 6'2", strong, agile, with good dribbling, with good shot, can finish with either foot. Absolutely incredible season for Artem Dovbyk. They signed him only for 7 million, which seems very low, and in this instance it's euros, not even pounds, so 5 million euros, 5 million pounds, sorry. And he has a release clause of about 35 million pounds, if I'm not mistaken, 40 million euros, something like that. And Arsenal definitely should look into it, because he is one of the strikers I would 100% take at Arsenal. Obviously, he would come to Premier League, he would have to learn. One of the biggest reasons why Šeško didn't sign for Arsenal, as according to reports and rumors, that he was kind of instantly put in front of him the fact that he will be the number 2 behind Kai Havertz. Arsenal want to go apparently in the next season as Kai Havertz is their number 1 striker, given how good he finished the second part of the season, and now he's playing for Germany at number 9, and he already scored and gave an assist in the first game of the Euros against Scotland. So definitely that, but Artem Dovbyk at Arsenal, 35 million pounds, 100% I would take it. There's no shadow of doubt in my mind he would bag goals for Arsenal. He's strong, tall, he can play very well with his head, which definitely is a missing piece for us. He's shorter than Havertz, but at the same time his heading is much better. His positioning in that instance is also much better, and he has very good jump on him. So definitely I believe that this, despite only have played one season, I definitely believe he would be good at Arsenal, and I don't think he would mind being number 2 at Arsenal 100%, because there's definitely potential in this guy that he actually might be our number 1 at some point, or become during the season, because there's lots of potential in that guy and lots of talent in that guy 100%, and he's 26. It feels very old in a way, but at the same time, let's be real, it's not. It's generally not. You can have some early bloomers who bang goals till 24 and then they fall on the face of the earth, or you have your Jamie Wardys who, to the end part of their career, when everyone just, their career basically starts dwindling away, their career picks up. And I definitely believe Artem Dovbyk could be that once, if he signed for Arsenal, I definitely believe in a season or so, he would become a very good attacking option. I really hope this happens. That's my selfish choice, because of all the transfers that were linked with Arsenal for striker department, I would take Dovbyk in a heartbeat personally. Let me know down in comments, would you as well? And here we go, as I said, we talk about strikers, we continue with strikers. We are talking about Ivan Toney. And according to rumors, 60 million striker ditched after one meeting as Arteta didn't want him around. Basically, what happened here was that they met with, apparently with Toney, they were talking to him, and what Charles Watts said, they don't like him. They met him and they didn't like him. That just sounds a very... it felt like Charles Watts was sitting there. He saw him fitting... What Toney said, he saw him fitting himself as the number 9. He thought he would get tons of goals and he thought he would suit the system. They met him and they purely didn't like him. It's like he insulted them or something, because Toney had said himself he would love to play for Arsenal. And with Toney, there's just stacks of evidence of a personality that you would imagine. Now you're imagining. Before that, it was purely stating as a fact that they didn't like him, and now they're just imagining that they didn't want at the squad. According to rumors, the first part about this purely stuff with this part, right? He saw him purely didn't like him was from TNAT or something like that, and this is just Charles Watts' opinion, the second part. Now, this is, I get it on a certain extent, but I hate it to a certain extent, because one of the things that strikes me with Mikel Arteta is that he doesn't like egos at the club. He wants a bunch of yes men who thinks like him, who wants to be like him, and who does things like he says. He's a very, very micromanaging type of manager, and it's his way or the highway. And technically signing Toney would unbalance the team and everything. His ego wouldn't suit the system. What system? Let's be real. Signing Toney, in a way, would be one of the best things Arsenal could do. Because we need a player with big ego that actually can stand up for himself and actually kind of presents himself in an arrogant way. Not in a bad way. Arrogance is not always bad. It's sometimes also a very good thing. And that thing is what Ivan Toney, in my opinion, has. Because he scores goals. Definitely in the Arsenal system, he would bang loads of goals. He would score and he would do it brilliantly here. He has that shithousery about him. He has the dark arts. He's not a nice guy, which is one of the biggest things I would love him at Arsenal, because I would say 99% of Arsenal, how they play, how they act, and how they behave themselves on the pitch is a very nice way, a soft way, like they are marshmallows. They don't have that, I don't know, that bad bone in them like Pepe had, Ramos, Rudiger has. Like, genuinely, because Kai Havertz has that on occasion, Ben White has it, but it not to an extent that he would actually jump in someone's face. Ivan Toney is straight opposite. He would go there and just send someone to the gulag, to the shadow realms. There's no questions about it, because the way, let's just say, remember how, let's just say someone would tackle Saka, right? Do you think any of our guys are gonna go and instantly stand up and scrap the guy who did it? Hell no. Because if there was Fabio Vieira, Tony Adams in that instance, that someone attacked Saka like that, like he gets yanked every single game by opponents, yeah? Instantly, you would see Patrick Vieira go there and legitimately knock someone out. Because that's that kind of personality we need at Arsenal. Ivan Toney maybe doesn't have that straight that he would go knock someone out, but he definitely would have that arrogance that he would go, and after maybe a moment or two, he would definitely go into that player and do something dirty about him, just to pay it back in a way, just to show him that we're not gonna take it. Because at the moment, Arsenal are a very soft team in my opinion. And as soon as you get physical and rough with them, we go into hiding. Especially Odegaard and other players who like to be the tricky, intricate dribbling players. As soon as you get rough with them, as soon as you take them out with a nasty tackle, they instantly start hiding. And that is something I don't like at all. But Ivan Toney, I don't get it why. That he would be, in my opinion, one of the most perfect guys we could actually sign. 60 million, yes, it's a bit over the top, I'm not gonna lie. But at the same time, he would fit in very, very nicely. One of the most shocking news today that I read was that Arsenal, together with Bayern Munich, Manchester United, and Manchester City, have contacted PSG of our potential sale of Xavi Simons. Now, Simons, I just watched him play for Netherlands. He was bang average, I'm not gonna lie. He got subbed off, Malen came on, he did more than Simons did for the most of the game. But at the same time, there is a player in there. Definitely for me, together with, let's just say, with Odegaard, he would do amazing things. He can be our Odegaard's replacement, he can play as a right wing, so Saka would have a replacement, definitely would push Saka to a different level. But the thing is, PSG doesn't want to sell him. And that's the biggest mystery for me. PSG are loaning him out left, right and center and not integrating him into their own team. Because they have Asensio there, they have a Dembele obviously on the right wing. But definitely there is a place in PSG's squad, on top of my head instantly, where he could play. But PSG doesn't recognize, they don't want that. Maybe with Mbappe gone, maybe they will recognize it, who knows. But he has been on loan to PSV, he has been loaned to RB Leipzig last season. And I don't know how this will play out. The most likely option this summer is a loan move, obviously, for Xavi Simons. The player will have the final say on his next club, obviously, but I just see him fitting at Arsenal very good. Yes, he's not an excellent player. In a way, he's a very good player, but he's not an excellent player that would maybe elevate Arsenal to the next level. But there's no shadow of a doubt that he would give competition to Saka and Odegaard. It would be a solid option to come off the bench and do everything as he wants to. So definitely I believe there would be a massive room for that. He would definitely be a good backup option. Would he become a number one? I don't see it, because there's no chance Arteta is dropping Odegaard or Saka. But at the end of the day, having him to fill in the squad, to have him as a backup, definitely would be good. The issue again is, Arsenal don't do loan deals. They do loan deals, but for a very useless and awful shit players. They don't do loan deals for good players. And Xavi Simons is actually a good player, so this is instantly out of the books. But PSG don't want to sell him this summer. So that would be very interesting what would happen next summer. Because big part of the fee, if they sell him, would go to PSV. So basically they want to loan him out as much as possible, get him game time, show him how great he is, and then when he, in their mind, his price is at his peak, then sell him so they don't get any losses. So it will be very interesting to see how this develops. But having him at Arsenal definitely would be a very good option. Whether it's gonna happen or not, of course, remains to be seen. Or it actually, again, could be another rumor that will never come to light. Moving back to Amadou Onana. Obviously, we've been linking him for, feels like forever. Again, like third or fourth transfer window. It feels like it's only the second, but you get what I mean. Arsenal make approach for Premier League stars asking prices revealed. Arteta eyes unusual swap for ex-Liverpool man. It's very weird article, but Arsenal have approached Everton for over possibility of buying Amadou Onana in the summer transfer window, according to reports. Obviously, the thing is, Everton are fighting with FFP and PSR and all that stuff. They need to sell players to kind of balance the checkbooks. They are open to selling Branthwaite, but only for 70 million. It looks like United not gonna pay that, so they might to sell someone else. There have been links that Dominic Calvert-Lewin might move to Spurs or Fulham or Chelsea. Maybe also Manchester United, don't remember that on top of my head. But obviously Amadou Onana also is on the books potentially to be moving. The price though is 50 million, and that is the biggest issue for me with Amadou Onana. 50 million. And if you sign him for 50 million, you should sign a proper player. If Partey leaves, especially as he's been linked with Saudi quite heavily once again today, it means that he would slot into the team. But for me, he's not ready for Arsenal specifically to be a starting guy. The quality of the team will drop quite massively if we sign him. And as a backup, okay, cool. He can learn, he can study, maybe in a season 2 he could become our number 1. But at the moment, I think as a backup, rotational player, I'm cool. As a main guy throughout, let's just say 85 to 95% of the season, to be as the main guy when we play against City, when we go in Champions League, let's just say Real Madrid, Barcelona or something like that, he's just not it. Although when he has played us, he has destroyed us in the midfield. Mostly because, again, he's something I discussed a few minutes ago. He's tall, he's strong, and he likes to bully players. And Arsenal don't do well in those situations. So having our own bully in the midfield actually would be quite nice for a change. I'm not gonna lie. So how this develops will be very, very interesting. But 50 million is quite massive amount of money to spend on this kind of a player. So all remains to see what's gonna happen, whether it's gonna happen or not. But Romano wrote in his Caught Offside column, many of you have been asking me about Amadou Onana's situation. For now, it's certainly the case that Everton feels something could happen for Onana this summer. Let's be real, he said this sentence last summer as well and in winter as well. And that's why we are not accepting any proposal from Manchester United for Jared Branthwaite, obviously. Mostly because also, they want 70 million, United offered 40, something like that. That's barely more than a half, so there's no chance they're gonna sell him that. They received an offer of 35 plus add-ons from Manchester United. They said no, that was for Branthwaite. It was 35 plus 7, something like that, because they want at least 65 to 70, so it's not easy. Well, it is easy. You don't get the money, you don't sell. Yes, they need to balance the books, but they are not desperate to sell the player because he's gonna play again, he's gonna improve, and with center back market being as thin as it is already, especially in Premier League, and that he's homegrown, he's English and everything, he will go for a massive amount no matter what, unless he gets injured, but we don't wish that on any player here. So Arsenal keep monitoring Onana, but at the moment there's nothing in terms of direct contact. That's the biggest thing. Every single window there is, Arsenal are interested in that, Arsenal do that, Arsenal do this, but at the end of the day, nothing is concrete, nothing is, it's all speculation and rumors. The thing is, that could kind of set this into overdrive is the fact that Onana has also been linked with Aston Villa. Villa obviously are still focused on the swap deal for Douglas Luiz and Juventus, apparently for Weston McKennie and someone else plus cash, I think. Obviously, Douglas Luiz is moving together with his girlfriend there, so Alicia Lehmann is going to play with Juventus's women's side or whatever. But the thing is, it's very, very weird at the moment. It's very, very weird. Reports in Italy are linking Arsenal with Arthur Melo once again. If this happens, I might as well just stop being an Arsenal fan. If we sign Arthur Melo, I might as well just become a Yeovil Town fan or something stupid like that. I swear to God, if we sign Arthur, there will be no more Mr. Semi-Nice Guy. There will be Arteta out and Edu out for the whole year, and I don't care what happens. Genuinely. But yeah, at the end of the day, again, there's nothing concrete yet. It's again only Arsenal are monitoring the situation, but let's be real. From what I understand from the previous transfer windows under Mikel Arteta, what it has taught us, monitoring situation for Mikel Arteta means he has pretty much no interest whatsoever. He's working most likely on different signings, and they will come out of nowhere. That's what happened with Fabio Vieira, with Jurrien Timber, and so on, so on, and so on. And the last one for today, Arsenal have joined race to sign Guirassy, basically a Stuttgart striker who is very, very cheap. He's 28 years old, who has release clause between 15 and 17 million pounds. Now, that is the good part in this. He scored quite a bit amount of goals. I don't remember on top of my head how many. So Guirassy scored this season in 28 games, 28 goals and 2 assists, which is actually pretty nuts, to be honest, if you ask me. He has been at Stuttgart for 2 years. He was on loan to Stade Rennais. He came back and last season bagged massive amounts of goal. His value has increased rapidly. He has 40 million value, that's about 35 million pounds, and he has 17 million release clauses. They need to renegotiate contract ASAP or they're screwed. His contract ends out in 2 years, that's also very big. But the biggest issue with him is the injuries, because if you look at the injury list, it's quite long. Last season he had 3 injuries where he overall missed 7 games, which is not that bad, to be honest. 2 hamstrings and a stomach problem. Okay, we don't count that. Might be food poisoning, whatever. But he mostly has had an ankle surgery, ankle injury for Stade Rennais. But overall, he's been somewhat fit. But at the same time, it is what it is. But overall, he has been very good for Stuttgart. Stuttgart had incredible season, finishing quite high in the table overall. So that is actually a very interesting, because Stuttgart has a somewhat decent side. They just sold Hiroki Ito to Bayern Munich. They paid the release clause, if I'm not mistaken. Stuttgart finished second in the table last season, by the way. Only 1 point, not only, but 1 point ahead of Bayern Munich, who are basically the daddy of Bundesliga, but they finished third. So that is definitely a massive thing in this instance. So Guirassy, back to him. As Arsenal currently lacking a standout striker in their squad, Eddie Nketiah and Gabriel Jesus have been inconsistent. Obviously, with injuries, Eddie is just useless. Havertz has found success with 9 goals in 14 league games. Basically, he plays up top. Havertz does something. When he plays in midfield, he's useless. Havertz playing up top does something, but not everything, basically. Šeško would have been a long-term signing, but no longer available. Guirassy has now emerged as a target. The Guinean was exceptional for Stuttgart last season, 30 goals from as many games in all competitions. So basically 28 from 28 in Bundesliga, 2 for 2 in cups, 30 goals in 30 games. That is actually a fantastic return, not to mention he got some assists as well. But the thing is, Arsenal are not only one. Chelsea is interested, and that is the big thing, because Nicholas Jackson has been quite a big miss for Chelsea last season, because to be honest, if he could finish his dinner, Jackson, he probably would have won the Golden Boot for Chelsea. Chelsea would have been top 4, to be honest, because he missed so many chances, it's actually laughable. But at the end of the day, yeah, Arsenal have joined the race to sign Guirassy. Again, 15 million is a player I am willing to take a risk on, but not as a main striker. Yes, he has proven he can score. 15 million is basically you sell Reece Nelson and sign Guirassy. Basically one tit for tat type of thing, then you sell Nketiah and go from there. Guirassy as a backup would be actually a great option with his height, with his speed and everything, his ability. He doesn't have the greatest first touch, but by the looks of things he certainly can finish. I'm not gonna preach he's the best striker in the world, because I don't watch Bundesliga that often. Well, I do, but I don't watch Stuttgart that much, let's just say that. So it will be very interesting how this develops and how this goes, but Guirassy apparently have joined the race. But again, as we all know, it's all speculation. Arsenal have joined the race means pretty much nothing, given how Arteta has made now Arsenal as a Fort Knox for transfer leagues, so nobody actually knows what's going on. And the frustrating part is, Edu says he has billions of pages on players they want to sign, but none of the players have been signed. They knew for at least half a year, since January window closed, which players they're gonna sell, but nothing has been sold. That is the biggest issue. Edu is under such a big pressure that I don't even know what to say. Yes, he was at Taylor Swift concert yesterday or a few days ago, all that stuff, whatever, but he needs to start doing things. Genuinely, he needs to start doing things, because sooner or later these players either will re-sign contract or will get picked up by other teams, and we again will be hung on dry. And we will have to deal with what we can get, and as we all know, we tend to do that. And Arsenal, when they get that, there's no chance. And let's be real, for us, this is the season where some Arteta and Edu must deliver, because if they don't, there's no questions about that Edu and Arteta must go. for me at least. Let me know how you feel about that down in comments below. Anyhow, those are the transfer rumors reports from me for you today. Let me know what you think about them down in comments below. Would you take Guirassy for about 15-16 million? Pay release clauses as a backup option, because I don't believe that Arteta wants him as a starter if he agrees to that, to be a backup. Let me know that, how you feel about that. Would you take Dovbyk at Arsenal? And are you happy that, in a way, Reiss Nelson finally is leaving potentially? Let me know that also down in comments below. Take care, enjoy the Euros, and see you all tomorrow. Peace.